So first fight that we have on the prelims, this is going to be a UFC debut for a very hyped fighter. His name is Shara Magomedov, and he's going against Bruno Silva. So it's classic UFC newcomer versus a vet. Um, First off, Bruno Silva, to go over his kind of profile, he's 23-9 right now. He is 2-3 coming off of that loss against Brendan All in Allen, where he got rear naked choked. He is Brazilian, 34 years old, 6 feet 74-inch reach. He's going up against Shara the Bullet Magomedov, 11-0, 5-0 in his last five. This is going to be his UFC debut in Abu Dhabi. He's from Russia and 29 years old, 6'2", and we don't have the reach for him yet, but I think that the reach is probably going to be around similar for this fight. For this fight, I mean, I think this is a really good way to start the prelims, right? I think that we're going to get to see a really hyped fighter. I've seen this guy on YouTube and Twitter. He's all over social media. This guy looks like fucking wild. Like he looks like he has a cross-eye going on. He looks like he got that like Tarzan look to him. So just to give you a little bit of idea of Shar, I mean, although he does look like he's a wild dude, I think that he does fight really technically. As far as his stand-up, he's a very accomplished striker. Actually, I believe that he's been competing in the MMA kind of scene since he was a teenager. So this guy has a lot of experience. Um, when he does his takedown defense, he will just light people up. I mean, I think that he does a really good job of really making people get punished when they try to go in for the takedowns. He has a really good defensive grappling. And also, in terms of striking, he doesn't really have like offensive grappling, but he really sets up that kickboxing that he has. Also, he's good in and out of the pocket. He also has a really good amount of power in his strikes as well. So I really like watching him as far as his highlights. He's going up against Bruno Silva, who has a big power here. I don't know if he's going to have the power advantage over Shara, but just as pure power, you've seen it in his last few fights. He is a good kickboxer and a Muay Thai striker, but thing that I don't like about him, and this has been an ongoing issue since since his fight against Alex Pereira, this guy likes to go kind of head in first, right? He likes to just throw caution to the wind and really leave his chin out there. So doing that, being that wild in the pocket, it has led to him making some mistakes in the cage. I mean, just look at his last fight against Brendan Allen. That was a straight banger for the first like few minutes. Both guys were throwing like really powerful leather, and then Bruno just had that chin kind of cracked, and then he got subbed, rear naked choked by Brendan Allen. So I feel like Bruno's chin is deteriorating a little bit, and alongside with that kind of questionable cage IQ of taking damage, I feel like Char is going to find the knockout here sometime. I feel like the UFC knows what they're doing, setting up Char in Abu Dhabi against Bruno Silva, who does have a name value because he's the guy that Alex Pereira couldn't knock out, but he's been real chinny in the last few fights. This guy even got chinned up bad by GM3 Gerald Mearshart. That's not going to be a good look. So I think Char might get the KO here. I would play Shar by KO if I were to pick like a prop. As of now, as far as a parlay piece, I'm gonna pass on it for now. I'm just gonna try to see what he looks like at least for weigh-ins, and also, I mean, this is his UFC debut, so I kind of want to see a little bit more tape before I kind of trust him with a parlay kind of money juice. But I mean, Bruno is definitely dangerous enough here to kind of cause a KO for a UFC debut. So I'm gonna stay away from the money line. But if I were to play it, I'll probably play Sharp by KO. I think that could be a good play there. Just to let you know about the odds, real quick. Shara actually opened up at a minus 300, and it got bet to about minus 185, but now it has since settled to minus 275. So initially people were, thinking it's a big favorite, got bet down to almost 2-1, but now it's about minus 275. Alex, I want to hear your thoughts about this first fight that we have in the prelims here. What are your thoughts about Shara versus Bruno Silva here?
Yeah, I mean, damn, I'm not gonna fade this Dagestani killer. He has that cross-eyed, like you said. Man, he's it's when I broke down this fight, he was on the precipice of a gigalock.
Hmm.
But yeah, I like Magomedov. here for sure. And I think I really like the inside the distance prop bet. So not necessarily like a KO or not just a KO, but just to win inside the distance. Um, looking at Bruno Silva, like you said, he he lost against GM3, which is like a very, very bad look. Um, he keeps his hands pretty low, but like you said, he does throw really heavy shots. Um, and I think that's gonna be like obviously the one kind of win condition for Bruno Silva. I think for the most part, Magomedov has like decent range control and footwork, but looking at like Magomedov's fights, there were times where the opponent would kind of get him cornered against the cage, and so how I think about this fight is I think Bruno Silva will get Magomedov like into that like trap near the cage. Um, and that's where Magomedov is going to be in the most danger. But I think he's going to utilize kind of like the Muay Thai clinch and be able to kind of work around those like dangerous areas. Um, but I definitely do think there's going to be a finish either way, and I like it on the bullet side. So inside the distance is probably going to be the bet for me here.
I actually like that. He could pull out a sub that we haven't seen before. Who knows, right? UFC debut, the juices could be flowing. I actually do like covering all the bases just in case that doesn't hit. KO right now is plus 100 for the bullet. Inside the distance is minus 115, so not too bad. Might as well pay that minus kind of 115 juice just to cover the sub because you never know what could happen. I mean, Bruno Silva just got subbed his last fight, right? So that's definitely in the play. Initially, also when I was breaking down this fight, I was thinking about like over 1.5 because I was just thinking, man, maybe Bruno Silva's going to be a little bit smarter this fight. But I remember I did like an over bet for his like last fight, right? And
Yeah.
right when that fight started, I was like, oh no, this is not gonna work. Like these two guys are playing way too wild. So yeah, I'm probably gonna stay away from over this time and probably just kind of go with the bullet instead and fade Bruno here. Because yeah, I think his fights are just way too wild at this point.